We have an all seafood dinner of sorts. It's shrimp and salmon with teriyaki sauce. And I didn't heat up the salmon, but I usually like it cold. Hold on. Santa is having the time of his life. Good boy. I feel like I have to report things when I'm doing these. But that's not the case because I feel like a lot of people eat in silence anyways. Or maybe they don't because they're watching TikTok, and I wish I could be one of them right now, but we're being in the present moment, as Eckhart Tolle said 1 billion times in his audiobook. Or maybe that was a podcast. Did anybody else listen to those with Eckhart Tolle and Oprah Winfrey? I don't know if that was a book or their series on something. Or maybe she liked his book and then she had him on her podcast. I think I've listened to the 1812 Overture 9 times in the last 2 days. I was thinking about making it my alarm clock, but I think that could be not very pleasant to wake up to. Or it would just make me sick of it, which I don't want to get sick of it because I really like it. My posture is not very good. Oh my goodness. I need to sit up. Oh, I have 1 million pieces of hair falling out of my bun, but this isn't about fixating on my hair. This is about being in the present moment. I also normally sit like this, and that's not something I'm gonna stop doing, so. The last couple of videos, I was trying to be polite, but this is my house. And nobody watches these, so. Thinking about watching The Brutalist tonight, but I don't know what it's about. And I think it's almost 4 hours long, which actually in a movie theater I wouldn't have an issue with because if I'm seated, I'm not getting up. And it's dark, so I can't look at anything else. But in the comfort of my own home, it's greater opportunity for distraction, that's for sure. I have no thoughts. There's nothing happening in my head right now. But I think that's okay, because sometimes it's a little bit too loud in there, so I should take advantage of when it's silent. One of my favorite new activities. That. I thought that was a salmon bone. One of my favorite new activities is asking ChatGPT loads of questions. Some of them important, some of them not so important. But ChatGPT said that a one China policy, well, it didn't have a strong opinion on that. It actually said that we should just prevent a war. But I was hoping for some more clarity because that issue is something that's gone on for far too long. Senna, excuse me? He's throwing his log on the floor, if you can't hear. Oh, but I like to ask ChatGPT what things taste like, because I'm curious how it describes flavors. Honestly, he does a pretty good job. I decided that my ChatGPT is male, I guess, but I don't know. I was asking it what the difference between normal barbecue sauce and South Carolina barbecue sauce is, because City Barbecue has too many flavors of barbecue sauce. And it told me the difference, and then it asked me what I preferred, and it told me what it preferred, and now I'm confused where it's getting that data, but that's none of my business. Senna, that's a beautiful sound. I watched a TikTok of a girl telling me how she was gonna make a snack that had been her favorite since she was a child, and she had a jar of peanut butter as the Canadian version of Kraft, and then she got out jam, and I was like, there's no way she's gonna make a PB&J, and that's exactly what she did. And now I have to ask ChatGPT when that was invented, because I think she thinks that she just invented it, which is fine. If she needs to think that about herself, go for it. I like to think that I invented things. When I was in the first grade, I thought that I was the only person that had ever seen the ballet Swan Lake, and when a girl named Sophia brought it up, I told her, I just gaslit her. I said, you haven't seen it. Only I've seen it. Only I know what that is. And even if you have seen it, you're not allowed to like it, because only I can like it. And then I did some ego work at the age of 20, so I don't do that anymore. We can all like the same things, especially popular things, especially Taylor Swift. And even if you don't like Taylor Swift, you can make the decision to not hate on women in front of your daughters, so that they learn that women are respected and valued, because they are and should be. Does anybody know what happened in the Super Bowl? Football is not a sport that I have deemed worth my time to understand the technicalities of. I love soccer, also called football, and I understand soccer to an extent. American football, not so much. It kind of just looks like somebody says go, and then they just run as hard as they can, and somebody has a special toy that they all need to find, but they're too busy tackling each other, excuse me, can I speak? Tackling each other to the ground. A very creative description. I've realized that what I like to do is look at pictures. I think that's the value I derive from social media. It's what I like to do when I'm shopping. It's what I like to do when I'm in a museum. I just like to look at pictures. And so finding alternative ways to do that. Well, Pinterest is my alternative way to do that. And I think that's a good alternative. But sometimes I need to be able to do that without being on my phone. I guess magazines exist. It's always a sacrifice though. Do I want a stack of magazines in my corner? Actually, that's kind of nostalgic. My grandparents' houses always had some kind of thing with magazines from decades before I was alive, with dust on them. It is kind of charming to see Oprah's hair when she was 35. I really do like Oprah. I haven't heard enough about her lately. I also like Martha Stewart, actually. I think she has a good personality. And I used to make her recipes almost nightly. They were not that easy to follow, actually. Hi, Senna. But I appreciated how she got to the point, because some food bloggers, she's not a food blogger, but other bloggers of the food genre like to tell lengthy tales before they get to the recipe list. And honestly, I read those. I actually like those. So I don't know what kind of point I'm making right now. I like to read people's stories. The salmon's a bit dry, but that's okay. I like to read people's stories, but I don't like it when they say that they have invented this food for which the recipe is original and it's never been done before, because everybody somehow has the best chocolate chip cookie recipe of all time. Which, oh wait, that actually leads me to a sentiment that I think about often as of late, which is that we're in an epidemic of hyperbole. I think I was a very hyperbolic child also, and then I learned more words, and I think that I grew out of it, but people like to say they're the most and the least everything instead of somewhere else on the continuum. Let's change it up. Let's keep it interesting. Let's not be the best or the worst. Let's be like the third best. There was a girl in class yesterday who said that she was the least patriotic person you could ever meet. And I was like, I think there's people that hate America much more than you, my queen. I don't think that you are winning. And I don't think that that says much about you, because patriotism is a very complicated term. So are we not flying the flag on our truck, or are we just like genuinely hating on American ideology that's current, or like, do you want to tear apart the Constitution? I don't understand what that means, but I don't know. Or I guess it's innocent when you say like, that was the most fun I've ever had, but I don't think that I've ever said that about something. I think that I don't think about that enough to know what that answer is, actually. Oh, this video is getting long. Actually, that's probably good that I'm not inhaling my food as Senna does. Except when he doesn't, because he gives it back, because it's not salmon or filet or what I gave him last time. And he says, try again, that's not what I wanted for breakfast. And I say, well, that's what you're having. I wonder if I'll be that type of mother, where if my child doesn't want waffles, I will probably make them cereal or something else. I don't know how many tries I'll give them though, maybe one. Any parents with advice for that? Actually, I guess if I give them one, it would be kind of an open door to continue doing that. So maybe we're all eating the same thing, and if you don't like it, then you don't eat. But like, that's cruel. No? Yes. No? And my food philosophy is such that I can't deny a child ice cream for dinner unless I know that they're very severely nutrient deficient, because I think that all foods fit at some point. If they have ice cream for dinner, they can have bib lettuce for breakfast. I don't know. I actually think that ice cream for dinner is something that I would never deny myself, therefore I can't deny it for my child, because I think there were quite a few years where I was eating dinner in pursuit of ice cream. Like, I was just like, let's just get this over with so I can move on to what I'm here for. Most holiday dinners, I think, went about like that. Like Thanksgiving dinner. I don't like turkey that much. I don't dislike it though. I don't dislike potatoes. I really don't dislike any foods except grapes and probably kiwis. But I was not interested in that. I was interested in the pie. Specifically, now I'm talking about my method of eating pie, but you scoop out the middle and then you save the crust for the ice cream, and then you put the ice cream on the crust, so it's like a whole nother pie. That wasn't that special, but that was special when I was younger. Thanksgiving dinner, that is what I was doing. Dissecting my pies. That was a big bite. How long is my phone gonna let me record for? We're gonna see. And I still have the 1812 Overture stuck in my head. I kind of wish I still played cello, but also then I get into like decorating my living room conversations with myself, because I would want to show people I play the cello, because I seek attention, I suppose. But I couldn't keep it out in the living room because I have dogs that run at 1,000,000 miles an hour at each other. See, there's a hyperbolic statement. I guess I am not grown out of that yet. I am pretty hyperbolic. I think I make up a lot of numbers. I would not trust any of my metrics unless I could provide physical evidence. Because I think sometimes I confuse myself with how many times I've done things. What was I talking about? Playing the cello. I think that would be cool, but also I think the reason I love the cello is the way the cello sounds in an orchestra. So if I played the cello, I would have to join an orchestra. Otherwise, if I'm just playing by myself, I wouldn't be that satisfied, because I don't know, less fun. I think it's more invigorating and no. What word am I looking for? I don't know. It's just more fun if there's other people there. I wish I knew what word I was trying to say. I think I've run out of thoughts again, which is fine because I have a couple more shrimp to eat. These shrimp are very good. They're from Littleton's Market in Upper Arlington, which I judged harshly the first few times I went there based on fellow shoppers. And that's not fair of me because I was stereotyping. And it was summer, and so people were having a nice time, and there was no reason why I needed to be upset. Not that I was upset. Actually, I did let myself get kind of upset. I am kind of dramatic. Why did I start talking about that? I know why. It's because I met somebody that worked there last weekend. Actually, no, I brought it up because these shrimp are from there. But story time, I met somebody last weekend that worked there, and she complimented my boots, and so we were friends after 30 seconds. And she went to a school that I didn't recognize the name of, but she was a fashion student, and she said that Littleton's, in her opinion, was like Erewhon, and then that was concerning to me because I don't think that we need to replicate Erewhon for any reason, because making health food cost $1 million is antithetical to the point of accessible health. That sounded poorly articulated, but universal health care means that health shouldn't cost $78 for a watermelon. No? Also because they are hypocritical in what they provide as services. They don't have any I was gonna sound really pretentious and annoying, but I was gonna say they don't have any science-backed evidence to support any of their campaigns, and it's not factual. They might have some science-backed evidence about something, but they are part of the anti-seed oils cult, which is no fun for anybody. But then there's seed oils in a lot of their products, which, like, I don't mind. I'll consume a seed oil, not because I'm better than you, just because I don't want to care that much. But what's my point? I don't know. My point is that Erewhon is way too expensive, and people shop there probably for a multitude of reasons, but one of them is most certainly because it's Erewhon, and because it says that it's from Erewhon, and because their smoothies are 100 different colors, and they look really appetizing. And I understand the appeal of the buffalo cauliflower. I personally wouldn't consume it. Cauliflower does bad things to me. Once again, I'm noticing myself not being able to focus on one focal point for longer than 2 seconds. I think it's because it's me. I don't want to be staring at myself because that makes me uncomfortable. I don't think I have an issue sustaining eye contact, though. Sometimes I intentionally do that to make somebody uncomfortable. Not in a mean way, but just in a, like, let's see how intimate of an interaction this is going to be. That's kind of creepy. I just remembered I'm not supposed to be sitting like this, because over the summer, something happened where my knees were incredibly painful. Or that's not the right way to say that. There was a lot of pain in my knees, and I was told it was my patella, whatever that is, and it's because I sit like this everywhere. And then I stopped doing it successfully. And I don't remember when I started again. My knees are fine. Because I am no such runner. I am a swimmer, which is good for your joints, so they tell me. I wish I could be a runner. I've tried to be a runner. I've gone through running phases. I think I like that you don't have to look at people when you're swimming, and you can't hear them, and you can't see them, and they can't talk to you. And I can't see anyways without glasses or contacts, so like I'm pretty much by myself as far as I'm concerned, except when I'm sharing lanes, then you do have to be on guard. We're done. Finally. I could keep talking to make this 30 minutes long, but I think that I shouldn't do that because I'm not gonna push my phone. Set up. I'm not gonna push my phone to its limits. Bye.